Upon hearing a strange sound, the first reaction is to stay still. Then, common sense advises any animal to take a step back. It has entered forbidden territory, the safety distance from a rattlesnake. The snake doesn't want to harm anyone, but it doesn't like having anyone so close. It's scared, which is why it gives fair warning. The rattle is a good discouraging alarm. These snakes scare predators with it, and in general, any species that comes too close. The combination of tone, rhythm, and volume in some sounds is able to catch one's attention, as a rattle catches a baby's attention. But these sounds can seriously alter the state of mind of anyone who listens to them. Alarms make all of us nervous. They're repeated sounds with the right frequency, and the genes of all living beings able to hear react in the same way. They stimulate the production of hormones that make us highly alert. When we talk about rattlesnakes, we normally talk about their venom and about how dangerous they are. Fear doesn't allow us to see beyond that, and the most surprising fact about these snakes, what's truly incredible, is how this reptile has been able to develop its extraordinary rattle, a unique device among living beings. Certain ophidians, ones even more primitive than the rattlesnake, also move their tails when they feel threatened or aroused, and on certain soils they also produce noise, although it's no more than a whisper. Some authors contend that with these movements they're offering bait, something similar to an earthworm, to their small prey. Perhaps it's only a means of diversion, something that's produced to calm the nerves of anything that makes them uncomfortable. And they can do this quickly or slowly. In a certain way, both theories would help to explain how the complex muscular system developed that these snakes have created to move their tails. But what about the rattle? How did it evolve? It seems to be made of skin left over from successive sheddings, accumulated over the animal's most recent scales. A horny point that is used as the base of the instrument. But how would this accumulation of skin be used initially when it didn't emit sound? And why would it end up moving in such a dizzying way? It's still a mystery. Many animals produce sounds, but there are very few species, however, that have evolved to use sound as a defense mechanism. They're interesting exceptions. Like these small marsupials, sugar gliders are very unsociable beings. They live in a strictly familial setting, with their partner and yearly offspring at most. They're unlikely to welcome just anyone into their home. Their nest is a hole made in a tree, lined with plant material to make it more comfortable. If they're bothered by a predator, or in this case by one of their own kind in search of shelter, their reaction is quite overwhelming. Such a resounding reception makes it clear that this place is already occupied and that visitors are not welcome. The sound that the sugar gliders make is disproportionate to their size. That's their aim, to make anyone who hears the sound believe that it's coming from a big animal. Furthermore, the hollowed-out tree acts as a sound box. Just like the sound of a guitar is amplified before emerging through its hole. Sugar gliders are not normally attacked when they're in their shelters, since they're quite convincing. The sound of birds singing is constant in almost any ecosystem and during almost any season of the year. But the sweet song of birds can suddenly turn into a high-pitched alarm. An angered mother can shout at certain undesired visitors. Some birds could rightly defend their claim to the patent for the acoustic alarm. A whistle by surprise gives a good fright and is an unbeatable way to ask the neighbors for help. South American orioles live in communities and build their nests in groups. Possibly no one except the orioles themselves realizes how useful it is to have a neighborhood ready to help upon the first sign of alert. Their basket-shaped nests, which reach almost 2.5 meters in length, are a fantastic defense against those enemies that can walk on branches. In addition, not all the nests have eggs, since some are built as decoys. The songs of these beautiful birds are now the songs of courtship. In this strange way, two male birds are claiming their right to mate with the females that form part of the community. Some fortunate females enter their nests to lay their eggs. Others are watching to see if the baby chicks they're expecting have hatched. The oriole breeding cooperative is in its busiest period. And this is also the time in which they have to be very alert in order to avoid being attacked by an enemy. Who could we ask about it? The oriole defense system is perfect. Logically, another bird. And it's not exactly an egg robber. The cowbird is a specialist in getting around the defensive wall that the orioles have created. But it doesn't attack it. The only thing it's looking for is to take advantage of it, to safely lay its own eggs inside these maximum security baskets. To reveal the presence of the intruder, the oriole shouts, which is now an alarm, and tries to expel the stranger. But once again, the cowbird has achieved its goal, and its descendants will grow unharmed and protected by the oriole's system. But the parents of other birds, most in fact, can't always remain near the nest, although they don't like to leave their offspring alone very often. The hoopoes spend most of their time in search of resources to maintain their families. And that's why some chicks have to develop their own protection system. The hoopoes' nests are usually found in holes in trees, or in a stone wall, as in this case. Big predators can't reach them. Furthermore, the hoopoe's nest smells very bad, really bad. But a snake is a terrible enemy. They slip in anywhere, and the bad smell may actually help them locate the nest. The hoopoe chicks, however, have created an anti-predator protection system, a defense system based on surprise. By expelling their feces forcefully and well aimed at the face of their enemy, they're able to confuse him, scare him, and send him off with the smelly memory that reminds him for days that the hoopoe nests are not a good choice. Surprise has a strong effect. It causes fear. But being afraid, even being a coward, is not looked down upon in nature. It is, in fact, an essential instinct for survival.